Bill turned his camera off on me, but it is Thursday, September 4th. This is MS National Office Hours. I am one of your hosts. My name is Heather Cox, and with me is Bill Bales, who is on mute, even though he sounded lovely on mute with his new haircut.
It was so great. Bill Bales, so glad to co-host with you, Heather. This is fantastic.
Thank you. And we're so happy that TJ's Teams is now working. And TJ, I just got to let you know, you were one of the very first requests that we had as we started our new season. They were like,
Excellent.
give us the LTI, bring us TJ. So the floor is yours.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you guys having me, and thanks for joining everybody. So I'm TJ Varing. I'm a program manager, product manager, actually, on the Microsoft Education Engineering team. And my focus is around integrations. This last year, it's been partner integrations focused on LMS, so improving our LTI stack and app suite. And, we have some really exciting news. First of all, to get it out of the way, we did announce some deprecations of some older tools back in April or prior, and different things that kind of affected us, our existing LTI tool set because of Microsoft's security initiatives and other things. So very important we took care of that. And we have. So there are a couple tools that are going to be retiring. The two main ones are Teams meetings and Teams classes LTIs. If you are using the Teams meetings or Teams classes LTI, those tools will retire September the 15th, this September, this month. So please listen closely about where to go for there. We have built replacements for those tools, and we have that ready to go as a public preview right now, and hoping to GA before that September 15th, on or before that September 15th date as well. We've also announced some changes to the older OneNote LTI. So OneNote, the original OneNote LTI, I believe one of the first LTIs or the first LTI we have, and one of the biggest used ones. That one lost a critical feature because of those security mandates, which was auto adding all the students from the class to the OneNote. Very valuable feature, probably the most valuable feature. So we had to replace that one. We also upgraded it at the same time from an older LTI 1.1 tool to an LTI 1.3 tool. So getting that out of the way, I just want to talk about where we went with that. And I've got a few slides to help me here. So I'm going to share my screen. And if everybody could let me know when they can see my deck. I'm not even going to mess with the presenter mode here. I'm just going to old-fashioned share my screen because I'm going to do a demo right away too.
You're good.
All right. So what we actually did here, and I'll put this up for a second because I am going to talk about some things that are, coming, right? And, with or without dates or goals. But basically, we have kind of realigned around the concept of pulling together all of our LTI tools into one. I've used a particular partner logo here, but you can insert whatever partner logo you wish. So Canvas, Blackboard, D2L, Schoology, and Moodle supported right out of the gate, and other LMS is coming. We're talking to several other partners as they test and prep the integration with this. And we also do document this for generic use, self-approach for any LTI 1.3 Advantage compliant platform, LMS or other, VLE. So basically, we in kind of reconciling these tools, in the past, each of these tools, like the Teams LTIs, was owned by the Teams team. The OneNote LTI was ours, but a different dev team. I owned the OneDrive LTI. It kind of gave me the opportunity to say, I'll take them and put them under one dev team and one effort. And that does a few things. It does, most importantly, from the customer side, that gives you the ability to install and maintain one thing, have your admin consent to one thing, as a LMS admin, pay attention to one thing. It also gives us on the Microsoft side a chance to do less work on a bunch of different tools, less of those security things. Every app we have here at Microsoft has a keep the lights on price. So even if we're not doing anything with it, we're constantly maintaining security and certifications and everything else we need to do to be compliant. and keep up with other changes outside of our control and in the environment, especially one of security in education. So another benefit from the customer front side is we've also, though you'll see a lot here about the unified UX of this, there's also unification on the back end. So all of the tools in the Microsoft 365 LTI that I'm going to show you use the same storage on the back end. So that's one SharePoint site, one group, even one team if you want, one-to-one with the LMS course, and that can be maintained in harmony with that course lifecycle. So you will need an assist at this point from your M365 admins. I think many of you are those have that role here as well. But your LMS administrator and you will become best friends around this as well, we hope. Because this is kind of a harmony of bringing the M365 experience and Entra ID and everything that comes with it, kind of into the LMS to bring these tools in, real Microsoft tools in your LMS. So, a number of goals listed here. I'm not going to read them all, but there are quite a few of AI-powered experiences that are included here, and even more that lights up with Copilot. So I'm going to be careful to highlight kind of what's here, now today, and that is open and available to all of your users, no matter the education licensing, and then the things that kind of make it better with Copilot. And the main thing to think of there is Copilot is there. So when we're talking about the editor, some of these icons around here, we could play a game and see if everybody, and as a matter of fact, if anybody in the chat wants to, try and name all the icons on here, I dare you to, and what they are. But basically all of these tools, come together with Copilot as well. So Copilot is being slowly added to almost everything in our world. And the places where it is today, like Word, PowerPoint, Excel, these are the real editors and viewers that show up in this LTI. So therefore, Copilot is there inside of your LMS. So keep that in mind as we go through things. So I'm going to start kind of going through what this thing looks like, and then we'll get to a live demo here pretty quickly, because that's always more fun. So we're replacing 6 existing LTIs that were out there. Again, the Teams ones are the only ones, I'll note, that have a retirement date already. The rest of them we'll announce as we have a plan to migrate over, give you a full and seamless migration. Everything but the Teams ones, and OneNote that's lost that feature, is still there and still out there. We haven't announced end dates for it, so if you're using it this semester, no sweat. Keep it up, and we'll figure out a time in the future when you can cut over to the new one, when you've had a time to test and train, etc. So don't be scared by any of that. We are replacing those 6 LTIs over time. We're redesigning and upgrading them, as a matter of fact. So all of them will come with some new features. And we're also possibly eliminating some things that aren't getting used. And we have good telemetry of that in the back end. But we're also listening very closely. So the final message there is like, anything you're not seeing that you need, please do let us know. And there is feedback tools right within this tool, or our URL of aka.ms/edu support works for that as well, both issues and feedback. So again, we're making this very highly configurable by you, the admin. We've learned that LMS admins like to have control. You like to get your documentation out there, train your users, make sure that you've had a chance to test and seen all the ins and outs before you release to your teachers or instructors. So we are, the number one feature here that I'll point out as you're looking at this dashboard is everything on here you've decided to be on here. So when we first installed the tool, we'd love to have you keep it all on, but you're going to see an experience like this where you get to decide kind of whether something's on or off, absolutely for your school. We also let you set the default state for teachers. So similar to like Canvas menu and other things, you can say whether it's hidden by default or shown by default. And then when the teacher comes into the course for the first time, we let them toggle that decision, right, on or off for their students in their particular course and teaching needs. We also added our own team sync. So to be clear, when I mentioned before that the Teams classes LTI is going away, the LTI is a totally separate thing from the team that it was visualizing and the mechanism that created that team. So none of those sync mechanisms in Canvas, the Canvas integrations settings integrations, toggle on Microsoft Teams, none of that changes. And the new LTI that we're delivering here works perfectly with that, fully backwards compatible. Same with Blackboard, same with D2L and any other way you're creating teams, SDS or whatnot. So those all tools stay. This is really just the team's LTI is just a visualization of that team that links it into your course and gives you a tile to click through. So complete unambiguity on students and teachers what team to go collaborate in. And then we're bringing our own team sync to the party for the first time. This is mainly for LMSs who have not done one of those more robust integrations, but could over time be more valuable to you, even if you're using one of those. So for instance, the Schoology does not have a built-in Teams Create mechanism. So now we have one that we've delivered that you can use if you are a Schoology customer to give your teachers choice or force the choice to have a team side by side with your LMS course. So again, teachers decide which tools, you decide which tools are on or off for your org, teachers decide which tools are on or off for their class. And we can also bring a team sync to the party if you don't already have one. Course content is an important one. So many of folks are probably already using the OneDrive LTI, the Microsoft OneDrive LTI, or the Canvas Office 365 LTI, or some of the Schoology LTIs that worked with OneDrive in the past. This brings kind of one tool to the party that can do most of those things. There are some OneDrive tools out there that probably this can't replace yet, but our real goal and target was the existing Microsoft Classic one to be on parity with that and make some improvements. And we have new editors and viewers in there that keep the editing straight inside of your LMS, Canvas, D2L, Schoology, etc. So inside of the LMS frame, students will be able to edit documents. You'll be able to pop out, of course, and with our online editors anywhere to a new tab with the web app or to the desktop app if you have it installed. So all that functionality is there in the toolbar. As I mentioned before, if Copilot is licensed, Copilot is there to help you for students and for teachers. And the accessibility tools and everything else are there. So these are the real Office editors, Word, PowerPoint, Excel. We also support viewers for video. So the stream video player directly inside of your LMS and images and PDFs if you use any of those in your course from your OneDrive as well. So the main talent of this tool, of the OneDrive tool, is to bring files from your OneDrive into the LMS course. We use a SharePoint site to back that up one-to-one with the course. And that's super important because what we're doing with that SharePoint site is, again, we have that story of one SharePoint site to one course. So those are all your files and assets with that course that can be archived, God forbid, legal hold or anything else you need to do with them in harmony with that course lifecycle. It also is a security stance because we're automating for your teachers. If any of your instructors tell you, oh, we don't need OneDrive LTI, we know how to share files, they are likely doing right-click, anybody with the file gets the link or other tricks to get them in there. We suggest not doing that. We suggest let Microsoft OneDrive handle it. So OneDrive will copy that file. It'll do all the orchestration for you of copying that file down to that SharePoint site that's owned by the course. If you leave and another co-teacher takes over, or you have a TA do work for you, they can edit it as well. They have that role in the course, so it's not single ownership of files like it was with some of the older integrations. It also properly group permissions those files with readers and writers. Your educators versus your students, or in the case of collaborations, all students can collaborate, etc. With turn-ins of files, for instance, inside of Canvas, it can be used with the external tool to have them make a file the thing that's filled out and turned in, like this example on my screen where you're doing a 20-question quiz type of thing. And it processes the submit from the students correctly and makes it available in the Canvas speed grader, for instance. And we have that functionality being worked on by other partners now. But in general, most of them support sharing a file for viewing or collaborating for a class at a base level. And then Canvas adds their special collaboration tools at group level and course level, and then also the external assignment type for actually turning in a file as the assignment. Second one I'll talk about is Class Notebook. I talked about this a little bit in the beginning. So the original notebook was stuck back on LTI 1.1. That would have taken us time to improve and upgrade just that tool, and also lost that feature because of a security sweep. We now brought it into here, so it becomes LTI 1.3 Advantage natively, and gains back that talent of being able to deploy the notebook automatically for teacher. We're adding some new features here. Hope to get them in pretty soon. Where we can support renaming of the notebook, and a couple other small things. But in general, it's back here as is with that very valuable automatic rostering. So if you're starting out the semester and you've got the old OneDrive installed, we suggest that you get this one going and educate your users on it right away so they can back that feature. And I'll talk at the end here a little bit and answer questions about migration, because I'm sure that's on a lot of people's minds, like how we suggest you handle that today if you do want to go right away to these new things, and what we will do over time to help. For meetings, so the Teams meetings ones, again, old LTI turning off on the 15th. This new one is here today for you to take a look at. We brought back almost every feature. The old one, we're going to be a little bit slow to bring back the channel meetings, because the interface for the old one wasn't working for a lot of folks. So we kind of have the new channel meeting settings that we have available in Teams now that we want to bring over, and a few other options. There's new things like agenda and icons and other stuff that we'd love to get here. The reality with this one is we're going to be probably a little bit slower to get some of those new things in, because we want to get to make sure we have our parity and everything kind of replaced from the old one going away. Reality is any meeting created here, you can always go edit in Teams or Outlook later to add those additional things that we haven't caught up yet. But let me tell you what we do specifically for LMSs and why it's valuable inside of an LMS. Is number one is this is a filtered list of meetings. So just like with the Teams view, it's kind of unambiguous. These are the meetings that are connected with this course. You go to another course, you only see that course's meetings. So things like office hours that are course specific, or things like, of course, just those lectures and other course meetings, those can be specific to a course. And we have two ways to kind of invite your class. One is one that we had before and gains a new feature, so add entire class. Previously, that add entire class button required you to have a team. Now it does not. So if you've chosen to install the meetings LTI or light up the meetings LTI, and you don't want to use a team for your class, that is A-OK, and you can use that add entire class button. It doesn't gray out anymore. The second thing we've added on big demand was this checkbox that says allow anybody in the course to join. What this does is has a meeting just hang out there. So with the add entire class, everybody gets an invite because they're specifically listed on the meeting, but you'd have to come back in here and hit it again if more people join in. With the allow everybody to join, the meetings kind of hang out there with a join button, so anybody who has access to the course can see the meeting. And if they click join, we just validate really quickly against the roster, so they haven't sent all their friends the meeting, for instance, and we let them in. So there's kind of a new feature there. The other thing that I don't have in the screenshot, but I'll show you live, is the list view for this meetings. We went from calendar navigation to a very easy upcoming, past, my meetings, and I want to see my recordings list. So very easy to navigate to those different aspects of across your meetings in a course and find recordings quickly. That feature is due to roll out, I think, within the next couple of weeks. So some of these things I'm talking about are just coming now. Yeah. So Microsoft assignments, this is the big one and one we're really happy with. So Microsoft assignments kind of brings to the party, to the LMS, our assignments. So we've focused for the last, I don't know how many years, since just a little bit pre-pandemic and then after pandemic as well, kind of doubled down on, AI-powered assignments. So these are assignments that are very easy and approachable by teachers. They are configurable by teachers to deliver an assignment when in reading, speaking, math, or search. So instructors can assign these without knowing a bit about prompting in AI. They don't have to write 1,000 word prompt and then figure out how to deliver the lesson it generates. These are done for you, kind of boxed lessons, if you will. And they can have your own content for reading, for instance. You can upload your own content for the learners to read. It can even generate more content off that content. We never generate anything with AI and give it directly to students without you seeing it, or unless it's derived from something specifically that you told us we could. So for instance, in reading, we can generate comprehension questions. You get to review every single one and say, okay, speaker progress. We give a lot of feedback on speeches. Even I'll show you a brand new feature we have there that's really cool. But all that feedback is delivered to the professor or teacher, not to the student directly, so they can use it as part of their feedback, choose to. Math and search give a lot of feedback as well. And so instructors and students are rewarded by these things with a lot of deep insights on their personal performance with these things, or from the instructor across the user across time and across a class compared with others in the class. So a lot of insights delivered with those that are valuable. And again, this is a little bit more about the accelerators, and then without ado here, and I want to do a quick time check, Heather, where are we at in space and time here?
We got about 6 minutes left.
All right, perfect. We're going to haul through a demo here. So I just want to kind of show you how this shows up in the LMS, if I can get my tabs working here. Yep. So I'm going to go into Canvas here, but what I'm also going to do, I want to make sure to have time to drop a bunch of links in the chat too to get to more and more information around here. We don't have enough time to go through everything. If I log into Canvas here, I'm also going to log into Blackboard, and I'll also log into Schoology. I have a magical environment where I have the exact same users running in all the different LMSs. And we can do this with Moodle and D2L all day long, but let's stop here just to show you some things. In Canvas, there's a flow from assignments where you can now access our assignments or OneDrive files to share with the class, blank files or fillable files by students, or one from your OneDrive. When you choose one of our assignments, and I can kind of go through and show you that this is very similar, if not the same, in any LMS. So if I do, I'm going to do every little part of the demo in a different LMS just for fun. If I come in here to Schoology, you're going to see a similar view, right, where I click through to say I want a new
he's just working on
Microsoft assignment.
Imaging PCs, which is what I'll be doing all night. So it's nothing like any crucial tasks that we're doing.
Okay.
And then I can get in here and create an assignment. From that assignment, what's unique about this, I think anybody who's used OneDrive knows that you can assign a single file to be submittable. Through our assignments, you can now support multiple files. So I can assign an outline, I can assign a draft, I can assign a PowerPoint, mix and match these things, different document types as well. I can also assign a learning accelerator to go with that. If you don't know much about our learning accelerators, please check it out. They are really cool experiences. I'm going to do something kind of odd here because I did 2 docs instead of a PowerPoint, but I'm going to assign speaker progress here because I want to show you this one really quick, how we focused with AI. And again, this AI that I'll show you here is completely free and open with any of your education licensing. And then I'll show you a killer Copilot feature at the end here that also doubles down on feedback. Speaker progress allows you to turn on these different things. AI is very good at listening in the moment and reflecting on an entire conversation, right? So we can take that speech to text of a speech. You can use this to practice for speeches without points and a rubric. You can use this as the speech to turn in and save class time for students. And it's going to give them some coaching in the moments and practice that they can, of course, mute and ignore or use. For you as the instructor, we can also go back and reflect on what they've turned in. And again, this works over multiple languages. You can give them limited attempts or unlimited attempts. You can set a time limit. And I'll give you an example of that in a second, but this will actually listen with intent, listen with perspective, right? So if I tell it it's a persuasive speech, it's going to go back and the AI is going to listen for me with for a call to action, for engagement strategies, emotional and intellectual appeal. I can look for things like language use and style, message clarity, organization. So it's going to give some feedback on this, again, to me as the professor or teacher assigning this, which again, we feel that turning AI loose on feedback is kind of a perfect thing because it saves teachers and TAs time, and it also gives better feedback and more thorough feedback, more personalized feedback to students, which improves outcomes. So kind of a double whammy there, and a really good, I believe, use of these tools to help. It can also, like I said, it's very powerful in these other languages. It can understand things like accents and other stuff and see if you're doing it right. So multi-language learning for reading or for speaking is a thing with this, even at a college level. And we know of some districts this year that are going to start using this for AP foreign language exams, practicing for the exam itself. And we're actually working on a time limit increase for that. So I'm gonna, I think I'm almost out of time, if not out of time here. 1 minute left.
Yeah.
1 minute left. I want to show you kind of I'll leave you with the screen up here as I close out, that if I go into any of these courses in any of the LMS, this is a consistent experience. So you'll have, the Microsoft Education LTI there for you to serve your different classes for any of the LMSs. And if I click here, yeah, so you'll see kind of Canvas light up here with the same screen as Blackboard, with the same screen as Schoology, different scales and different sizes, but the same things that you have available no matter which LMS you use. I'm going to start dropping links in the chat, but thanks everybody for having me today, and hope I told you something new.
As always, TJ, you are amazing. We've had a request. Is it possible to get the slide deck?
Yeah, I can get a version of this to you, Heather, if you can help me get it out there for folks.
And then I'll get it out to everyone. Perfect. Yep. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We will get this put online as soon as possible. I will try not to forget it, but thank you. If I ever forget, y'all are good about reminding me to get it online. But thank you, everybody. I'm going to end the meeting. TJ's going to put some links in there, and we will hopefully see everybody again next week. Have an amazing weekend. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.